Good, thank you. So my presentation today is based on the rise of diabetes and the threat that it is to our youth and us as adults every day. So basically, you're enjoying fast food today, you're going to pay for it tomorrow, potentially regret it forever. My thesis is that parents are unknowingly risking their child's safety and lives because convenience is within grasp. You're driving home from work, your children are crying, they're hungry, they want a quick snack, they want a quick lunch, and your first thought is McDonald's. Let's stop and get some nuggets, get them a kid's meal, Happy Meal, can't go wrong, right? Well, you can go wrong because these meals are full of so much ingredients that you don't know. Instead of simply going home and making themselves, something healthy and balanced and whole, you're giving them poison. Now, I know as parents it's easy to get that quick drive-through meal, but think of the harm it's doing to your children and to yourself as well. Drive Research conducted a survey, where they found 2 out of 3 people consume fast food at least once a week, and that's 65%, staggeringly high. Now, males, we're in trouble because it says that we are 3 times more likely to eat fast food daily than females. And 40% of American consumers use drive-thrus to purchase fast food. I myself have been guilty of it. You get out of school, you don't want to go home and cook, you want to get something quick and easy. But with cooking your own food, you control what you're eating, you control what's in that food, you control how much of it you have. So I think that is really a huge pro to cooking your own food. The part that I find most concerning about the convenience of drive-thrus as adults and is going to that drive-thru, and as a parent, you're gonna think, okay, I'm getting myself food, I need to get food for my kids too. And so you're giving them the same food you're eating, which is not only hurting you, but hurting your children. Now, right now, that food may seem great because it's cheap and affordable, but in the future, when they develop heart disease, diabetes, obesity, liver disease, those treatments are not so cheap. So you're gonna save money by feeding them healthier in the long run. Now, diabetes is on the rise. I myself have diabetes, and a total of 38.4 million people, according to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases, they found that a total of 38.4 million people of all ages in the United States had diabetes in 2021. That's 11.6% of the population. Now, among those numbers, 352,000 were children and adolescents under the age of 20. And among that heartbreaking number, 304,000 were type 1. Now, type 1 diabetes is not something you can control. It is pretty much something you're born with. Type 2 diabetes is something you can control through a healthy diet, exercising, being mindful of what you put into your body. That is what I have, type 2 diabetes. Even though you can control it, it is still really hard to manage sometimes with all the different temptations in the world. So I definitely advise you to watch what you're putting into your body. Now, surprisingly enough, the highest number of those cases were among American Indian natives and Alaskan natives. They make 13.6% of diabetics. Now, insulin is something that you have to inject every day as a diabetic. And you don't want to have your kids do that because kids hate needles. So it's gonna hurt you mentally to have to always put your child through pain when you don't have to. So that's something you can also think about and tell your children, like, hey, you want those McNuggets, that's great, but do you really think that they're worth injecting yourself every single day with insulin? No, it's not. Have a salad. So, education is key. There are many resources you can use to teach you about diabetes, health, and great options. For one, you have the American Diabetes Association. On this website, they'll teach you proper recipes. They'll line you up with experts who can educate you and your children. There are articles that really educate you on tips on how to get your children to eat better. For instance, they have an article that shows the top 10 ways to get your children to eat healthier. And among those ways were to have your children be involved in the cooking process and having them name the meal after them. For instance, you have a kid named Charlie, have them help put the ingredients in the bowl, have them help, with the vegetables, and call it the Charlie Special. They'll love it. Now, my father, Brady Allen Mooney, was a type 1 diabetic. And I saw what this does to you. It really just affects your way of life. It affects your happiness, your mental state, as well as your physical state. He had amputations. Every day was a struggle. I saw him go from a healthy man to just this. And he passed away in 2018 due to complications with his diabetes, and I miss him every day. So don't put your family through that. I myself am a type 2 diabetic, as I mentioned. Last year, at the beginning of last year, I was 320 pounds. I currently weigh 220. So I lost 90 pounds on eating healthier, cleaner, exercising, and my type 2 diabetes, now I can say, is in my control. My blood sugar is never high, it's never low, it's always where it should be, which is ideal for diabetics. In conclusion, we've gone over the rise of diabetes, why diabetes are on the rise, and how to educate yourself with diabetes. It's really important as parents to realize that yes, convenience is great, but it's not practical. You don't want to teach your children that the quick option is always the best option. Does it take longer to prepare and cook dinner than it does to order a pizza or to go get fast food? Absolutely. Is it worth it? Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, you love your children, you love yourself. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where 10 years from now, a doctor's going to tell you, you have heart disease, your liver's failing, your diabetes is out of control, your A1C's through the roof. So trust me when I say it pays off to look at what you're eating and to be smart about it. So thank you all for listening, and I hope you all have a healthy day.
Amen.